You ever want to travel the world, but wonder like, how are you gonna get the money to afford to go traveling? Just like most people, I had no money. So I didn't grow up with money, and my parents didn't have money. Back in 2009, I was looking at my friend's photos and he was in South Korea. And I asked him, I reached out and said, how did you travel to South Korea? Like, I would love to do something like that. I've never left the United States before. I've never traveled internationally, and I have no money. And he said, and I have no qualifications either, right? I was just gonna graduate undergrad. But he told me, listen, it's not as hard as you think. If you just go to and apply to be a teacher in a language school abroad, there's so many countries that'll actually open their doors and invite you in, and they'll pay for everything. And I was like, that's unbelievable. If I can do that, then generally speaking, I don't need any money. I can just show up, right? So I went to this website. I've never heard of it before. It was called Dave's Cafe. What they have is global postings of countries that are looking for English teachers specifically. The cool thing is you don't have to be American, and there are many people who had the qualifications to teach English as a second language that could still go and apply to be an English teacher in these countries. So some of the countries, most of them were in Asia, but they were all throughout the world. So the ones that I was attracted to was in South Korea. And then there was China, and then there was Japan and South America, there was Saudi Arabia, there was the Middle East. And so the reason I picked South Korea is because they had the most developed program. It appeared internationally. So when I reached out to them, they said that we will pay for your flight. We will, as soon as you arrive, we'll give you a cell phone. We'll also give you an apartment, and then you can just start work the next day. And I said, that's unbelievable. All I literally have to do is show up. So I just did an interview, and I'll never forget it. It was a random Wednesday, and I got the offer the next day. And I just talked to them, and it was one interview, and I told my mom, like, listen, I'm going to South Korea, and I don't have to pay for anything. And she's like, how are you gonna go to South Korea? You don't speak Korean, you have no money. There's so many concerns, because what happens if they go bankrupt? What happens if I show up there? Because I never left the United States before. What happens if I go there and I get sick? Or, I have a hard time, or it's a very intense work culture. And I said, forget, I don't care. I just want to go for it. I want to live life to the fullest. And at that time in 2009, I was, just had graduated, and I was ready to go explore the world. And my mom said, okay, that sounds great. I support you. With only $500, I decided the following week, or it was actually that weekend, so I got the offer on a Wednesday, and I actually left that weekend and showed up in South Korea on a Sunday. That's when I landed. And it was so funny because once I showed up in South Korea,